Section 2.3 is about writing equations of lines. So what if I'm not given the equation for a line? How can I determine the equation of that line? And one of the methods we can use to do that is point-slope form. So point-slope form allows us to write and find the equation of a line given its slope and a point. So the point-slope form of an equation of a non-vertical line, right? So it can't be x equals a constant. That's what non-vertical means. Is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You then distribute that slope and simplify. This is one equation you will have to memorize, as well as the equation to calculate slope. So let's put this to use. So let's write the point-slope form of an equation of a line with slope 2 that passes through the point -1, 3. So -1 is my x1 and 3 is my y1. I know that y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now we substitute. Y minus 3 equals 2 times x minus -1. Y minus 3 equals 2x. Let's take another step. 2 times x plus 1. Remember, because two negatives make a positive. Y minus 3 is 2x plus 2. I add 3 to both sides. Y equals 2x plus 5. So the equation of the line with slope 2 that passes through this point is y equals 2x plus 5. Let's do this again. So we want to write the point-slope form of an equation of a line with slope m equals -1 that passes through the point when x is 5, y is 2. So I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus 2 equals -1/2 times x minus 5. Y minus 2 is -1/2 x plus 5/2. We're going to go ahead and add 2 to both sides. Y equals -1/2 x plus 5/2 plus 2. How do I write 2 as a fraction with 2 in the denominator? Well, I multiply by 2 on the top and the bottom. Y equals -1/2 x plus 5/2 plus 4/2. So my final answer is y equals -1/2 x plus 9/2. So let's write the equation of a line with slope 0 through 3, -3. So slope is 0, that means it's a horizontal line. It's going to look like y equals some constant. We can still use slope-intercept form for this. And let me show you why. So I have y minus y, which is -3, equals 0 times x minus 3. So I get 0 is y plus 3, so y equals -3, which is just my y value. So if I have a slope of 0, I know that line is going to just be equal to my y constant. The same thing holds true for a line with undefined slope. Remember, the graph of my line with undefined slope would be just a vertical line where x equals some constant. So we really just want to look at the x value. In this case, x equals 3. So what if I want to find the equation of a line through the point when x is -3, y is -6, but it's parallel to 2x plus 3y equals 6. What do we remember about parallel lines? Well, when two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. So let's go ahead and get this in the slope-intercept form so I know what slope my new line will have. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2x from both sides. 3y equals -2x plus 6. Divide both sides by 3. Y equals -2/3 x plus 2. So this is my slope. So I have this is my line, and my slope is negative 2/3 because I want my lines to be parallel. So I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus a negative 6 equals negative 2/3 times x minus a negative 3. Y plus 6 is negative 2/3 times x plus 3. Y plus 6 is negative 2/3 x minus 2, because negative 2/3 times 3, the 3's cancels, negative 2. I subtract 6 from both sides. Final answer is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 8. Right? So be careful to always distribute that negative. Maybe write a little bit neater than me. I'm not sitting at my desk today, I'm sitting on the couch trying to film these. Apparently, even though I'm only in my very, very early 30s, I can still hurt my shoulders so bad I can't sit at a desk. So, enjoy these couch recordings. All right, next, let's work through an example where I've got to find a line perpendicular, or I've got to find a perpendicular slope. So let's find the equation of a line through negative 3, negative 6 that's perpendicular to 2x plus 3y equals 6. So luckily for us, we just solved this, right? We found that that line was y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. Save ourselves a little bit of math. Now, what do I know about lines that are perpendicular? So when two lines are perpendicular, the product of their slopes is negative 1. So if I have negative 2/3 times what equals negative 1? Well, that's going to be a positive 3/2. So 3/2 would be our slope. I could also, if I had wanted to, solve for my unknown slope by dividing both sides by a negative 2/3, and remembering that when I divide fractions, I keep the first fraction the same, change from division multiplication, and flip the second fraction. Or you can just kind of look for the negative reciprocal. I think that's simpler. So now I have my slope, I have my x1, y1, I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I have y plus 6, because minus a negative is plus a positive, equals a positive 3/2 x plus 3. So y plus 6 equals 3/2 x plus 9/2. 6 is 12/2, so I'm going to take away 12/2 from both sides. Y equals 3/2 x minus 3/2. So for the last example of this section, I want to write the point slope form of a line through points negative 4, 3, and 5, minus 7. Okay, now in order to use slope-intercept point slope form, I need to know my slope. Well, luckily I can go ahead and calculate my slope. I've been given 2 points and I know my slope is my change in y over my change in x. So I've got x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's go ahead and calculate this slope. Slope is my change in y, negative 7 minus 3, over my change in x, 5 minus a negative 4. That gives me negative 10 over positive 9. Now, is that the most beautiful slope we've ever seen? No. But are we capable of solving this problem with this not very beautiful slope? Most definitely. Now, does it matter which point I pick to be my x1, y1? No, I could use either of those points now that I know my slope. But because I labeled this one x1, y1, let's go ahead and use that one. So I've got y minus 3 equals negative 10/9 times x plus, it's minus a negative, 4. Y minus 3 equals negative 10/9 x minus 40 ninths. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Y equals negative 10 ninths x minus 40 ninths plus 3. Well, 3 could be written as 27 ninths. So I have y equals negative 10 ninths x. Negative 40 plus 27 is a negative 13. So I have negative 10 ninths x minus 13 ninths is our final answer.